Hey everybody, it's Nate with Sauce Ain't the Boss here again, and today is day number 294 of quitting alcohol. I had a viewer comment on yesterday's video, the one I talked about how the cravings fade, and he mentioned that, yeah, that's true, but we always got to stay diligent and, because let's face it, we can all be just one drink away from going back to our old alcohol trap life of being stuck and compelled to drink again every day. I think for some of us, having one drink would just be, that's it. I mean, there's so many stories out there of people that had short-term sobriety, long-term sobriety, to where they relapse and they're stuck in that trap again, sometimes for years, decades, sometimes until death, I mean, unfortunately. And so it's one of those things that, as you get along in this journey, you start to feel free from alcohol. You start to feel and see yourself building a life that's better without alcohol in it. And that's a good thing, right? It's good to feel that way. It's good to be in a place where alcohol seems to start to lose its grasp of control over your life, or the control that we let it have over us, right? But, alcohol is not going anywhere. It's always there, and we do have to be diligent about, living our day-to-day lives in a way that, I don't want to say it's always in the back of your mind, but it kind of needs to be somewhere in your mind, or somewhere in your on your radar at least. I'm not saying to think about it all the time or anything like that, but just that possibility of relapse does exist. And I wish I could say it didn't for a lot of us, but unfortunately it does. And it's been proven time and time again that people do relapse, and life can throw us those curveballs, right? Somebody dies, you lose your job, your spouse wants a divorce, heaven forbid, like I say, one of your children passes away, or I can think of some horrible things that, would really be a tough thing to go through, and you would instantly want to return to your old drug, right? To numb the pain, or to escape from that horrible reality that, got tossed your way. And, one of my sons is going through a difficult time right now, and I'm talking to him about how life has its highs when things are going great, because things were going really good for him. A lot of great things were going on in his life and stuff, and then just been kind of hit with one thing after another here negatively over the last couple of weeks, and if not months. And it's one of those things where I had to sit him down and explain to him that that's life. It can't be sunshine and rainbows all the time, and it's not gonna be. Sometimes we have to suffer. Life's about pain sometimes, and but it's like I told him, through that suffering, through the pain, through the discomfort, that's when growth occurs. And I wish it wasn't that way, but it just is. The discomfort and suffering I had to go through of quitting alcohol, it has had the greatest rewards pretty much of my entire life, right? And it's just like anything that has great rewards. There's sometimes some great suffering that goes along with that. And so this quitting alcohol thing is no different than that, and we just need to be mindful that, we have gone through this suffering, and we're coming out the other side of it, and things are going great. But sometimes we could just be that one situation away from being put into a moment of weakness, to where, we have the desire to go back to alcohol, because, sometimes it might be something that makes us just say, screw it, and I'm not doing this anymore. And, those are the times that, are the most challenging on this journey. Are there the times that are really going to determine, just how much you've truly started to overcome this thing, this grip of alcohol on your life, is when that person passes away, when that major unexpected life event happens, and I think we can do a little bit of preparing in the meantime for those things. What are, just a little bit of planning to think about it. I'm not one of those people that likes to think about the future and the negative things that could happen. I think that just wrecks your life. I think that we do need to be aware, though, that this is life. There's going to be ups. Like right now, I'm on a high. I quit drinking alcohol. I've gotten healthy. I feel good. Everything in my life right now is going great. And I have in the back of my mind though that this is going to probably be short lived and something's going to happen negatively. And I have to be ready for that, and I have to be prepared mentally to deal with whatever that is without alcohol. But the great thing is, we deal with those things so much better when we are sober and we're not drinking. We're more level headed, we're less quick to react. And so you're better poised and positioned to deal with all this negativity that life can throw at us unexpectedly sometimes when you are sober, when you're not drinking, when you are clear minded and non reactive. So I know that too. I know that, when that time does come for me, that I'm going to deal with it better, clear minded. So the thought of that helps me to know that turning to alcohol at that stage is not going to be a win-win situation, because I know that through my past life experience that alcohol just made problems worse, compounded things, and started to make my life spiral worse and worse down a hole. And so if things are bad, drinking alcohol isn't going to make them better. It's only going to make them worse. So the point of today's video is just to spread the message about, hey, when you step away from alcohol and you get to that what they call the pink cloud phase, where everything in your life just seems amazing, because it is after you quit drinking alcohol for the first time in maybe decades. In my case, life's good again, because I'm not drinking a poison every day that's wrecking my life. And it's easy to just, have all that momentum and positive energy. And that's a beautiful thing. That's amazing. And I'm not trying to put any shade on that whatsoever. But I am just trying to, spread the message that, you just have to be diligent and aware. And only you know what you can and can't handle. And maybe sometimes we think we can handle certain things, and we find out that we can't. We see things starting to go a little sideways, and we get ourselves into a situation, excuse me, where I think I got this, and then you get there and you're like, I don't got this. Whether that's a vacation or being around other drinkers, or putting yourself in a bar for whatever reason, or whatever your triggers may be. And you find yourself in that situation sometimes. If you're ready to succumb to going back to alcohol, maybe it's best just to leave that situation, leave that environment the best you can, not be around those people if it's people that are making you want to go back to alcohol. And this whole journey is about, once you get into it and you're away from alcohol for a while, you can see things that are tough for you. Even like for me, 10 months in, like I mentioned, I went to Hawaii, and that's been the worst trigger and cravings I've had maybe on this journey. Not the worst, because I'm better prepared, have more tools in my bag being 10 months in than in the beginning. But I can almost guarantee you, if I had done that in my first maybe couple of months, went to Hawaii and was put in that situation, I really don't know that I would have been strong enough at that point to get through that without drinking. And so that would have been a bad situation to put myself in. So those are the kinds of things that, even though we sometimes think we might be able to handle certain things, it's best to avoid them until 100% that you got that, And I think that we do have to test our limits sometimes. I mean, we can't go through life and be like, well, I'm just never going to go on a vacation again, and I'm just going to stay in my house in the corner in the fetal position. I mean, obviously that's an exaggeration, but kind of having that mentality where we're too afraid to live life, because life goes on once you quit drinking, and it's a beautiful life, and you need to live it. You need to get out and have experiences and those kinds of things. Again, you just have to be careful and diligent that you don't relapse, and that you're making good decisions on what you can and can't handle. And so just being careful, guys, that's all. It's something that you just have to, I don't want to say live with or deal with, but that sounds like a negative thing, but I think it's something that, once you've been, addicted to a drug, or it's just like an obese person, once they had food as their vice, they got super big and they were big for a long time and they lost weight. Now they have to be kind of diligent on watching that weight. They can't go back to their old habits. They can't start eating those foods again, or that food starts to become a habit again. And next thing you know, they've gained all that weight back and then some. And for many of us alcoholics, you have that drink, and before you know it, you're drinking back to your number, and now your body's not equipped to handle it. If I started drinking like I used to do 10 months ago, I couldn't handle it. There's no way, because I have lost 50 pounds. So I have 50 pounds less of body mass. My tolerance is way down. I would if I drank 12 drinks like I used to right now, I mean, I'd be on the floor, probably borderline, if not alcohol poisoning, and it wouldn't take long for my body to just get wrecked, because it's not used to that level of toxin. I mean, I think your body, through drinking through years, does have to put up with it. It does get kind of used to it. Is it good for you? Absolutely not. It's still damaging your body. But over the time of drinking, your body adapts to that particular amount of alcohol you're drinking in a way, not in a good way, but it has to. You're not giving it a choice, So if all of a sudden we return to drinking at those levels, it's scary. It's not a good place to end up. So it can be dangerous. And so that's the point of today's message, like I say, not to be a Debbie Downer today or talk about the negatives of, sobriety, because really there are no negatives of sobriety that are anything near the negatives of being stuck in the alcohol trap. One of the negatives, if it is a negative, is just that you do have to be careful and continue to build on the life that you've already established being away from alcohol, knowing that that life's better, that you've got so much more opportunities now, that you can deal with things so much better now that you're away from the alcohol. Just keep putting the bricks on that, building that house up, putting your focused energy on that. And that way, when that negative life experience does happen and does hit you, that house is built out of bricks and it's strong, and it can take a hit, rather than, getting overconfident and willy-nilly and, loosey-goosey in this whole journey, thinking that, you're, have arrived and that there's just 100% no way you're ever going to go back to alcohol. At worst case scenario, you drink and you do go back. It's the age-old thing. Get right back on the horse. Don't slip further into that. Look at it as a mistake, chalk it off, and move on. Don't beat yourself up into a depression state that makes you just want to drink more. Just go, you know what? I screwed up. I'm not going to let this, define my alcohol journey. I'm not going to spend another second drinking. I'm going to go back to, the life that I know is best for me. And, don't get caught up in that excuse funk of, well, I've had one drink now, I might as well just say screw it and drink again and go on a bender for a week or a month or a year, and then it ends up being, the rest of your life or something like that, So that's it for today, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. If you are, please give them a like, subscribe to the channel if you can, and most importantly, remember, sauce ain't the boss. You are. You guys have a great day.